So you've come to this video to learn about dieting. Dieting is one of those things that many people tend to overlook in their lives. Whether you think you're overweight or underweight, you might have had the idea of dieting pop up into your mind occasionally, but lack the proper knowledge or willpower to do it. Or what if you're like me? What if you're someone who assumed that it isn't their diet that needs changing, you simply haven't built up enough muscle to see a significant improvement? So in this part of the video, I'm gonna go back and tell you a little bit about my backstory and why I got into the gym. It was a pivotal moment in my lifting career, I guess you could say, so I just wanted to tell you about it, so maybe you can take some relevance from it. So if you want to skip it, make sure you skip to this time frame shown on screen right now. Anyway, the main reason I started going to the gym was because I was tired of being small and skinny, and I was tired of not being respected by others. All this at a young age caused me to hate my looks, which spiraled me into hating myself. Soon the weeks turned into months, and the months turned into years. But what was the result? You could say it was okay. I was definitely better than when I first started, but I didn't have the body I was expecting to have. So I thought maybe if I kept working out and doing the same thing over and over again, I will have my dream body. So fast forward about a year, I'm still working out and everything feels great. I feel like I'm making serious progress, and then as you know, a few years ago, COVID-19 lockdown struck. So lockdown hit, I can't go to the gym anymore, but the thing is, I had just started university, so that's fine. I thought my focus should be only on making friends and drinking and just socializing, right? Well, that's exactly what I did. The thing is, I would drink alcohol almost every night, and I ate like a proper uni student. Oven pizzas, fried chicken, packet noodles, whatever you could think of, all the cheap foods that you can think of, I was eating it because it was quick and easy and convenient. I didn't care about nutrition, I didn't look at the protein label on the back, I didn't look at the calories, I just ate it because I wanted to, right? Because it was quick and easy, and cooking and food was the last thing I could care about, to be honest. So what was the result of all this? My body was a mess. I looked like a child with almost no muscle definition at the age of 18. But I was at uni, so I didn't think it was a big deal. Well, I continued this lifestyle for a while until I started to understand what was happening. I began losing myself, so I wanted to change. I knew I could be better, so that's what I did. I fixed most of my bad habits and began working out again. But even better than that, I did what I never did before. I spent countless hours researching about diet, trying to get rid of the skinny fat body composition that I was so frustrated about. Don't be like me, learn from my mistakes and what I'm going to teach you about in this video. Here's everything that I know about dieting. Why should you even diet? Well, it's simple. Do you want to fast track your body transformation? If you said yes to that question, then without a doubt, you should be on a diet specific to your needs. You have definitely heard of the terms bulking and cutting, I assume, and for good reason. It is very important that you go for a high quality bulking phase, especially if you're skinny or new to the gym, and then eventually transition onto a cutting phase to remove the excess fat so that you can achieve the shredded look. For the first years of my lifting career, I neglected the phrase, you are what you eat. You may have been in the same shoes as me when I said, I'm skinny and small, so I don't really care about what I eat. So I ate chocolates, burgers, chips, and milkshakes, just anything you can really think of. I had the mindset that I'll eat whatever I want, whatever it takes, as long as I get big. Now, while I'm not against the dirty bulk, especially when you're skinny and first starting the gym, I can confirm that it only results in a lot of fat gain, especially around the face and belly, not to mention the potential health effects it might have, accompanying the bad diet. The most progress I've ever made has been when I actively track my diet. So the most progress I've ever made has been when I actively track my diet. So learn from my wasted time in the gym and just start earlier instead of later. First things first, let's break down the basics you need to know about calorie intake and expenditure. Your body burns calories by simply just existing. This is because your body has basic metabolic needs to function. From digesting foods, creating new cells, or just simply breathing, your body uses a certain amount of calories to function. We refer to this as the basal metabolic rate. Therefore, it makes sense that in order to sufficiently fuel your body's basal metabolic rate, you need to eat the same amount of energy, right? That would just make sense. I hope you're following me here. This is what we refer to as our maintenance level of calories. The average usage of most humans is anywhere from 1,600 to 3,000 calories, with many factors affecting this, of course, whether you're male or female, your size, weight, height, how active you are, genetics, etc. With regards to this principle, in order to gain weight, it only makes sense that you eat above this baseline calorie amount so that your body has a surplus of energy, and to lose weight, you must eat below this baseline calorie amount so that your body has a deficit of energy. From what I've learned, the most effective amount of calories to either cut or bulk is anywhere from 250 to 500 calories. With the lower the number, the more gradual the weight difference, and the higher the amount, then the more extreme and essentially quicker you'll reach your goals. For example, if your maintenance is 2,400 calories, you should eat anywhere from 2,650 to 2,900 calories if you wish to gain weight, or eat anywhere from 2,150 or 1,900 calories if you want to lose weight. However, everyone is different, and you have to play around with the amount of calories you're eating, kind of experiment with yourself to see how many calories you should be either cutting or bulking. As I said earlier, the more drastic the difference, the quicker you'll see results. However, there is a fine line to this. Eat too little food and you risk starving yourself and losing muscle. Eat too much and you risk getting too fat. These are the basics that I'm sure you already know, so here are some tips to help you reach your goals. I understand that you want to see results as soon as possible, but eating too many or too little calories isn't the most efficient way. Like I said earlier, eating too much will cause significant fat gain, and eating too little, will cause you to starve yourself and just lose muscle, which is not what you want if you're going to the gym. So to find the diet most suited to your goals, I would recommend weighing yourself regularly, writing the value down in your phone so that you can keep track of your weight, and then adjusting your caloric intake accordingly to see whether you're gaining or losing weight at a healthy rate. The widely accepted amount of weight loss / gain is around 1 pound of body weight per week, so anywhere in or around that value is great. However, I will discuss more of this later on in the video. It's all good knowing the fundamentals of dieting like I just told you, but how do we actually implement this into our routine? First, get a base value of your maintenance calorie level on a website or an app, and then make a note of it. If you go on Google and search up maintenance calorie calculator, something along those lines, then just search up on Google and then it should be one of the first links. I'll put a link in the description if I remember. Please note that this will be a very general value that it gives you based on a database collected with many different people around the world. It's not catered to everyone and every specific person, so just essentially take it with a grain of salt, but usually for most people it's quite an accurate baseline to start off at. Okay, so now you've got your basic maintenance calorie level, we can then track every food and drink that we consume into an app. The most popular one, and the one that I personally use, is called MyFitnessPal. With apps like this, you can set specific goals such as how many calories, how much protein, how much sugar, how much carbohydrates, how much fats that you have to consume daily. All you have to do is record everything you eat into the app. Look, I know before you say it, it sounds like a lot of effort, but trust me, it is worth the extra minute, because it literally takes a minute or two to track, like while you're cooking or just before you eat. Instead of spending that extra minute on your phone or trying to find a YouTube video to watch, you can literally just do this and track it into the app. Besides, if you are serious about making these gains in the gym as quickly as possible, then this shouldn't really be an issue. Just think of it as an extra part of your workout that you must do. Tracking calories is something that I put off for such a long time, which is something that would change if I could go back in time. And I guarantee that 99% of the population do not track their calories. So think of all the people that are missing out on these potential gains. So you've got your basic maintenance level, you've got the app to track your calories. Now I'd suggest to go out and get a food scale. They're really cheap, they're like £10. It's no excuse, just get one. If you don't have the money, just ask your mum. Or if you don't have £10 and at this age you're doing something wrong in your life, but you should have £10. That's the point. So just buy this food scale. And what you should do before you cook is weigh out your raw food. So before you actually cook the food, measure every ingredient you use For example, if you're making, let's say, chicken breast, right? Before you cook it, because obviously when you cook it and when it's raw, it has a different weight. So you take the raw chicken breast, put it on a plate, put that plate on a food scale, press the on button so it resets, and then take note of the weight. And the same with like rice, you want to measure it dry, not wet. Same with oats, you want to measure it dry before putting the milk in. So once you have this value, you input it into MyFitnessPal or any fitness tracking app that you choose, and you'll be good to go. Although it does seem extra, be sure to track your vegetables, sauces and oils that you use, because trust me, these add up to a lot of calories, and it might be the reason you are either gaining or not gaining weight, even though you believe you're eating well and tracking your calories well. For example, 1 tablespoon of olive oil or mayo can have as much as 120 calories in it, which is very high. So use these high calorie foods in moderation. Okay, so you've now got your basic metabolic rate, got the app, you've got a food scale, and you're tracking your food. So the final thing you want to do is just weigh yourself regularly to see if the number on the scale moves accordingly to your goal, and adjust the calorie intake to make sure you're eating enough. For example, if you're on a cut and you're not seeing your weight go down regularly, then try slightly lowering your calories and see if that works. Remember, everyone is different, so what works for me might not work for you. So don't be discouraged and keep at it and trust the process, bro. Remember, having your dream physique is not easy. If it was, then everyone around the street would have it. But look, you going above and beyond and doing what 99% of the population do not do will benefit you in the long run. So just, as I said, trust the process and keep at it. Okay, so as tempting as it sounds, it's important that you don't fall into the common trap of eating whatever you like as long as you reach your calories. The truth is, if you reach your daily calorie goal, then yes, you will reach your goal of weight loss or weight gain. But contrary to what most people say, there is such things as bad food and good food. I don't want to go in depth to the science behind it, but different foods have different properties that affect your hormone level, which can have an impact on your energy levels and hunger levels. So with this in mind, hopefully you can understand that it is important for most of your food to be good quality and consist of whole foods. Whole foods include foods such as chicken breast, rice, fish, vegetables, fruit, beef, nuts, etc. If you want to buy spreads and other extras, try to opt for the organic option, as these usually have less added sugars and other extra chemicals in them which aren't good for you and can throw off your basic hormonal levels and all sorts of stuff. So just try and opt for the organic option or close to organic option as possible. Also, it is very important that you set a daily protein goal and reach that every day if possible. So in addition to just your basic caloric intake that you track on the app, make sure you're also actively tracking your protein goal, if anything. I believe that tracking your protein is the most important in comparison to tracking your fats and carbohydrates and etc. If you're like most gym goers and want to gain muscle and lose fat, it is important that you don't just reach your calorie goals, but also reach your protein goals. Think of the protein you eat as the building blocks at a construction site. It is good that you're working hard at the gym, but just like the construction workers at the site, without any building blocks, there's nothing to build a building with. In our case, the building block is the protein that we eat. Essentially, every time you eat protein, you open a protein synthesis window that gradually decreases and then goes back up when you eat protein, and then gradually decreases again and then goes back up every time you eat protein. This is a very kind of bro science and simplified way of looking at it, but just trust me on this. So bro, just make sure you eat your protein every day. A good value to use is around 1 gram per pound of body weight. So for example, I'm 70 kilograms, so I aim to eat around 140 plus grams of protein every day. So to do this, make sure each meal you have has a protein source. So for lunch, I have 2 chicken thighs without the skin with potatoes and broccoli, which is about 42 grams of protein. And for dinner, I have some chicken breast with rice, cooked with a sauce obviously because I'm not a weirdo and enjoy flavour. Now this equates to about 40 to 50 grams of protein, give or take. I then have snacks like Greek yogurt with a bit of honey, 2 scoops of protein powder, or 1 scoop depending on what I've eaten early in the day. I've been asked by some of my friends about whether they should use protein shakes or not. So the answer is up to you, to be honest. For me, on my cart, I need protein shakes to reach my daily protein goal. But if you can reach your protein goal with just food, then it's fine. Remember, protein shakes are just a supplement and not intended to replace any meals. They are used to help you get more protein in, therefore you don't need them. Finally guys, don't expect to see results very quickly. Building your dream physique takes years, and it involves adapting your entire lifestyle and mindset. It's not a short-term project, it's something that you will do for the rest of your life. Now if these words scare you, then maybe it's not for you, but I can say with confidence that it definitely is worth it. Thanks for watching this video guys, I hope it somewhat helped or answered any questions you may have had. If you have any further questions or suggestions, I encourage you to leave them in the comments section below. But with that being said guys, if you watched this video in its entirety, I really appreciate you. Anyway, take care guys.